Have you ever wondered about a business so mighty that it changed the course of history? The Dutch East India Company, also known as VOC, was one of the most powerful and important businesses in history. During its nearly 200 years of business, it built up a lot of wealth and power. With an iron grip on lucrative trade routes, the VOC monopolized key commodities such as spices, textiles, and precious metals, amassing untold riches and shaping the global economy. How did the Dutch East India Company become such a force to be reckoned with? Are you ready to go back in time and see just how strong and important the Dutch East India Company was? You wouldn't believe the scary things the VOC did? So fasten your seats and get ready for a mind-blowing ride through history as we learn how scary the Dutch East India Company's power was. From its start in the early 1600s until it ended in the late 1700s, the VOC controlled trade between Europe and Asia. It managed the spice trade and set up ports and villages all over the world. Its power and effect went far beyond the business world. The VOC was known for being cruel to the people it met and using harsh methods to keep its control. It had an impact on politics, society, and even war. It had the power to rule whole regions, overturn governments, and change the course of events. The VOC had lots of money because they were the only ones who could trade spices. By controlling how spices like nutmeg, cloves, and cinnamon were made and sold, the VOC was able to charge high prices and make a lot of money. The company also set up a complicated network of trade routes and ports that reached from the Cape of Good Hope to the coast of Japan. This meant that it could control the flow of things and information over long distances. How interesting, right? But the power of VOC was very expensive. The company's continuous ambition to make money led it to take advantage of the resources and labor in the areas it controlled, which often had terrible effects on the local people and surroundings. Dangerous, right? The VOC also helped make the world more uneven by taking resources and wealth from places it took over and bringing them back to Europe. This helped keep the power and wealth in the hands of a small number of people. In many of the places the VOC controlled, it was a major force in setting up political and social systems, often to the benefit of European masters and at the expense of the local people. The company also had a big impact on culture because it introduced new ideas, technologies, and things to the areas it controlled and spread the idea that Europe was better and had more culture than other places. Even though the VOC had a lot of power and influence, its monopoly wasn't without troubles. Other European countries such as the English and the Portuguese wanted to break the company's power over the spice trade. The VOC also had to deal with local people and leaders who didn't like being controlled by them, as well as natural forces that could damage their ships and ports. In the end, the VOC could not keep its monopoly going. Several things led to the fall of the company, such as competition from other European powers, bad management and corruption within the company, and changing economic and political conditions. The VOC broke up in 1799. This was the end of one of the most powerful and important companies in history. The VOC made an impact on the world that is still felt today. The company's rise to power and merciless desire for profits show the risks of unchecked business power, while its role in the rise of global inequality reminds us of the ongoing fight for justice and equality in our world. At the same time, the VOC's history of new ideas, travel, and cultural exchange tells us that teamwork and cooperation are possible across cultural and physical lines. As we learned how scary the Dutch East India Company's power was, we also learned more about the forces that have shaped our world and the fights for justice, equality, and sustainability that will continue to shape our future. Whether we are experts, students, or just curious, the story of the VOC shows us a world of power, wealth, and abuse. It also tells us that in a globalized world, we still need to think critically and act properly.